When your dog flops onto the floor and shows you that little belly, do you notice just how much trust lives in such a simple gesture? Yes, it's precious, and we immediately want to give that soft belly a good rub. But underneath that habit lives something deeper and more beautiful, a layer that almost no owner stops to admire. Your dog is telling you something, and that something is tender, it's ancient, and it's so uniquely yours that it only makes sense between the two of you. If you keep seeing it as just a request for affection, the way so many people do without realizing it, you might be missing the greatest act of trust your friend has ever offered you. Let's start with the point that lights everything up. First, the belly is the most defenseless part of his body, and that changes the whole meaning of the gesture. Have you ever stopped to think about what a dog is exposing when he lies on his back? Right there are the vital organs, with no protection, no defense at all. In the wild, that's the last place an animal would ever leave uncovered in front of someone he doesn't trust. And when your dog does this in front of you, without a second thought, he's saying something no word could ever reach. I trust you with my life. Over thousands of years, dogs learned to read who is safe and who isn't. Animal behavior experts explain that exposing the belly is one of the fullest signs that a dog feels completely at ease. No fear, no alertness, no tension anywhere in his body. It isn't weakness, it isn't frightened submission, it's surrender. So every time your dog rolls onto his back close to you, with his little paws relaxed up in the air, he isn't just asking for a rub. He's giving you the most precious thing a dog has to offer. The certainty that, by your side, he is safe. And there's a detail that makes this even more beautiful. There's a subtle difference between the belly that asks for affection and the belly that asks for space. And almost no owner knows how to tell them apart. I'll tell you about it right near the end of the video. And once you learn to see that difference, you'll understand your dog in a whole new way. 2. Not every exposed belly is an invitation. Have you noticed that sometimes your dog shows his belly and loves the rub, but other times he seems a little tense there on his back? Many owners think it's always the same request, but it isn't. There's the relaxed belly, the happy dog's belly, with a loose body, a slightly open mouth, a tail wagging softly, and there's the uncertain moment belly, when the dog rolls onto his back with a stiffer body, a sideways glance, maybe licking his lips. That second belly isn't quite an invitation. It's his gentle way of saying, I'm at peace, please stay at peace too. It's the dog asking for the situation to stay calm, showing he wants no trouble at all. Researchers who study dog body language have found that this gesture of exposing the belly in tense moments is one of the oldest ways they have of saying, I'm not a threat. Notice how beautiful that is. In the face of any doubt, your dog's instinct is to offer up his most fragile part to ease the tension. And that's why understanding the context changes everything. The very same belly can be a hug of trust or a gentle little plea for a truce, depending on what the rest of his body is telling you along with it. 3. Where he shows his belly tells a story too. Pay close attention here, because few owners have ever looked at it from this angle. Your dog shows his belly in various spots around the house, but does he do it the exact same way in every corner? Or can you notice subtle differences? The belly he shows sprawled out in the middle of the living room, right in the center of everything, in the busiest place in the house, carries enormous trust, because there he's completely exposed and still fully relaxed. But the belly he shows curled up in a little corner in his own bed is a more private kind of coziness, a relaxation that's close to you but tucked into his own refuge. Animal behavior experts have noticed that the place a dog chooses to surrender like this reveals how safe he feels in that space. A dog who lies belly up right in the middle of the walkway where everyone passes through is saying that this home is the safest territory in the world to him. It's the opposite of his wild instinct, which would tell him to protect his belly at all costs. When your dog lets go of that instinct in the middle of your living room with people walking around, he's declaring, in his own way, that he trusts the whole home the two of you have built together.
4. When he shows his belly more than usual. Keep a tender eye out. Has your dog ever had one of those days when he was constantly rolling onto his back for you? More than usual, flopping down the moment you came near, begging for that belly rub all the time, almost pleading for you to bend down and stay there with him. Many owners think he's extra needy today, but what's really happening tends to be more delicate. Dogs use touch and closeness to regulate their own emotions, the same way we reach for a hug when the day's been rough. When your dog asks for a lot of belly rubs, he's often chasing that good feeling of safety, the affection that soothes, the reassurance that everything is okay between the two of you. Maybe something got to him, a loud noise, a change in routine, a tension he sensed in the air, or maybe it's just pure love overflowing. Either way, it's the dog saying, "I want to feel close to you." So on the days when your dog seems especially eager to roll belly up, it's worth giving him a longer rub, because to him that moment is real comfort. 5. The dog who never shows his belly is telling you something important. And what if your dog simply never does this? Never rolls onto his back, never leaves his belly exposed near you, always sleeps curled up, protecting his body. Many owners conclude the dog just isn't very affectionate and leave it at that. But the experts tell a different story, and they tell it with great care. A dog who avoids exposing his belly may simply have a more reserved personality, and that's completely normal. Every dog has his own way. But in some cases, that constant protection can be a sign that he doesn't yet feel fully safe, or even that something in that part of his body is bothering him. Dogs who feel pain in the belly, the back, or the joints tend to avoid the positions that expose those areas. So if your dog was always one to show his belly and suddenly stopped, especially if it comes along with a change in appetite, sleep, or energy, it's worth paying attention with love and, when in doubt, talking to your vet. Sometimes, the way a dog stops surrendering is his silent way of letting you know that something has changed. 6. The detail that reveals everything about your trust. Remember I mentioned a subtle difference between the belly that asks for affection and the belly that asks for space? This is where it shows up for good in his eyes. Next time your dog shows you his belly, don't just look at the little paws up in the air. Look into his eyes. A dog who truly surrenders, full of trust, has soft eyes, a little droopy, almost melting while you rub him, his whole body relaxed and going along with it. It's the picture of a dog who doesn't hold back a single ounce with you. But a dog who shows his belly while keeping his eyes wider, the whites showing at the sides, his body a bit stiff, is asking for gentleness. He's saying, "Go easy with me." Learning to read that gaze is learning to hear your dog's heart without him making a single sound. And when you notice those fully melted little eyes while he offers you his belly, know that you're looking at the purest form of trust that can exist between a dog and someone. A dog who shows you his belly isn't just asking for a rub. He's doing something that goes against his oldest survival instinct. He's lowering every defense, exposing the most fragile part of his body, and saying, in his own silent way, that by your side there is no danger at all. And the least we can do is honor that trust. If this video makes you want to go find your dog right now, chances are he'd be happy to roll onto his back for you and get that belly rub. Like and subscribe, because your dog deserves an owner who understands the love behind every gesture.